How's it going everyone? John here, and in this video we're going to be checking out the Gibson Les Paul Studio Session. This is the newest member of the Les Paul Studio family, and it has a couple of design features, specs, and general characteristics that make it perfect for a wide range of scenarios. You can see this guitar then as an upgraded and reimagined version of the Les Paul Studio that everyone knows and loves, but now there's a load of upgraded features and refinements based on player feedback. So before we hear a few more sounds, let's go through some specs. Starting at the body of the guitar, we've got this classic and iconic Les Paul body shape with a beautiful figured maple top. There are a couple of really great standout finishes for this guitar, and this one in particular is the Honeyburst. Around the back of the guitar, you'll see that we have a mahogany body, and even though it's mahogany, it's not really heavy like some mahogany guitars can tend to be, because we have Gibson's ultra-modern weight relief. This means that there's wood taken out in select places of the body so that it's not too heavy, and you can use it on a gig, take it all over the place, and it's not going to be heavy and cumbersome. Following this logic, we've also got a nice carve away here at the bottom of the neck where it meets the body, and if you have big hands like me, some neck joints can be a real pain, but this is nice and easy to get right up to the top. Following that modern contoured heel then, onto the neck, we've got a nice mahogany neck, and flipping it over, you'll see that there's also an ebony board, and this is going to give you a nice bright and snappy attack to the notes. And it's also just really great looking. It looks really smart and neat. We've got a slim taper profile on this, so it's nice and agreeable. It's not on the thicker end, not on the thinner end. And with the DNA of the Les Paul Studio guitars, serving a load of different players, different genres and scenarios, this profile's perfect. It's nice and agreeable. It's going to work for a lot of players. On top of that, we've got 22 medium jumbo frets, and also a Graphtec nut at the top, which brings us on to the headstock. And around the back, you'll see we have Grover Rotomatic tuners. Around the front, we've of course got the Studio truss rod cover, the Les Paul logo, the Gibson logo. It's all very traditional. It feels like what we're used to with that classic Gibson headstock look. In terms of more hardware and electronics then, we've got a 3-way selector switch, and this is obviously going to be neck pickup, both pickups, bridge pickup. The pickups in this guitar are 57 Classics, with the bridge being a 57 Classic Plus, and this is just going to be slightly hotter with a bit more output. And now moving down to these 4 gold hat control dials, we've got some various push and pull functionality here. These will still act as your volume and tone for your bridge and neck pickups, but now we have access to a load of other tonal features, which is very in line with the spirit and DNA of these Les Paul Studios. So the 2 volumes allow you to coil tap 2 pickups. This means that they're going to have a more single coil, thinner flavour, and this will allow you to get those more brighter, spankier, transient sounds when they're pulled out. Now, moving on to the 2 tone pots, the neck tone pot, when you pull that out, that's going to be a phase reversal switch, which means that when you're in the middle position, you're going to have a very Peter Green-esque sound. That's probably the best way of describing it. It's probably the most famous example of it as well. And finally, the tone on the bridge, when you pull that out, it gives you access to what Gibson call pure bypass. And in short, it sounds like everything is bypassed and it's going straight to the bridge pickup on 10. So you've got that classic rock bridge pickup sound straight away, just with the pull of a pot. And this makes this guitar really versatile, because you could have it set up with certain volume and tone settings, maybe on a specific pickup combination, and then you want to go to the bridge with everything on 10, pull that out, and you're ready to go. And just to round this guitar out then, those pickups are in these cream pickup rings matching the cream pickguard. Looks really classy with this Honeyburst. And then also we've got the Nashville Tune-O-Matic bridge, and both the bridge and tailpiece are made of aluminium. So that pretty much covers it for the headline specs of this guitar. Now let's hear some sounds. Right, I'm all plugged in, ready to go. I think the first thing to do is just go through all these different pickup combinations with the push-pulls so you can see how they're going to affect the sound, and then we'll go into some cool, various different kind of tone stuff. So these classic 57 pickups really do have a nice rolled off kind of old school character to them. They're still nice and bright, and when you dig in, they have that kind of aggression, but they really feel good. So both pickups now, so middle position. I love the middle position on the Les Paul. It really has that kind of chimey, bright spank to it when you have that mid-gain kind of sound. And really still quite articulate. Like some of those chords have some crunchy intervals in there, but Which really sounds great. All right, neck pickup. Ignore that noise at the end. Yeah, feels great. Feels like a Les Paul. That's the most important thing. Like, you know, your bread and butter Les Paul sound is still here in this guitar. It's just got other stuff and other features available. So, speaking of which, let's stay on the neck pickup. Just as a refresher, here's how it sounds not coil tapped. Now I'm going to pull out the volume on the neck, and this is going to coil tap it, make it a bit more single coil character end of things, a lot spankier and a lot brighter. So a really cool, unique sound there, I think. Let's now, by comparison, go to the bridge. So this is the bridge not coil tapped. And now coil tapped. Instantly has that brighter, more spindly kind of sound. And here's both of them together. So here's how the pickup sounded without either of them tapped. Here's both of them tapped. Just the bridge tapped. And now just the neck tapped. But now let's move on to this phase switch. So let's push both of those back in on the volumes, and the neck tone, you pull that out, you're going to get this very cool, kind of quacky Peter Green-esque sound. It just sounds like a complete character shift for me. I really like how that affects things. And we'll play with some more sounds in a bit, but you know, with higher gain, that can lead some really interesting results. Finally, I'm going to demonstrate this pure bypass switch, which is the bridge pickup tone dial. So, leaving it in for now, you may have your Les Paul setup where you're on a middle position kind of sound. Let's bring back the volume of the bridge and the neck just because we can. Let's leave the tone all the way up on the neck pickup and bring back the tone on the bridge. So your guitar may sound something like this. You know, fairly expressive, relatively low gain. If I just pull out that bridge tone, it goes straight to the bridge pickup. It's nice and aggressive. I can pop it back in. And we've made all of those moves that I did earlier, you know, going to the pickup selection, volume and tone stuff. And I've made all that happen just with one movement. And it's cool to be able to do that that quickly on the Les Paul because, you know, usually you'd have to do a couple of movements with pickup selections and, you know, volume tone dials, that kind of thing. So a really nifty feature, I think, and a very standout one from this guitar. So now let's have a listen to a few more sounds. We've done the clean breakup thing, so you've heard the general character and identity of the guitar, but this guitar can do absolutely tons of sounds, you know, by nature of it being a Les Paul Studio. So now I've got a very aggressive metal sound. Let's put it in drop D and hear how it sounds in a metal context. Let's hear some more higher gain lead stuff. So I've now got a patch which is my kind of go-to 80s bright DI kind of sound, so it's a very revealing sound because it's a DI, right? So it's going to really emphasize the character of the guitar. That particular sound can get really kind of abrasive in the top end on brighter guitars, but I mentioned earlier these pickups feel really nice and warm and they have that vintage character. That really showed on that. I really, really like that. This final sound we're just going to have a look at is a really fun, quirky one that I like to use with certain types of guitars. And I've got a feeling that these switching options are going to have a lot of effect. So starting off in the bridge sound, this is just everything, you know, back to standard on the bridge pickup. It's a very kind of squelchy, throaty kind of tone. So now middle position. Neck. Even that has had a lot of effect. So now let's go middle position. Let's bring in the phase switch. That's a lot of fun. Now let's just tap some stuff. I'm getting carried away here, as you can probably tell, but this guitar is a lot of fun. I love the fact it can do so much with all these different combinations. It's honestly one of my favorite features about it. And that pretty much covers it for this demo of the Gibson Les Paul Studio Session. This guitar is capable of so many different sounds, as you've hopefully heard in this video, and I'm sure whatever scenario you're going to use this in, it will be able to handle it just fine. I found a ton of uses for it, and I'm sure you will as well when you get your hands on one. Head on over to the Gibson Guitars website that I'll link in the description of this video, where you can see a full list of all the specs and technical information about the instrument. I want to say a massive thank you again to Gibson and Ben at Gibson Guitar UK for sending this guitar out to me. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Go and try one out at a local music store or wherever your nearest Gibson dealer is. And if you're in the UK, like me, head on down to the Gibson Garage in London, where you can see all of these guitars and all the beautiful finishes, as well as all of the other Gibsons they have to offer. And thank you guys for sticking around and watching the video. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next one.